everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Jagged Edge. Ian here with Chris.
Hey, what's up?
51 and we're not done.
51, and that, hey, you said that because it rhymes.
I
didn't catch on to that, so I had nothing when you said that. Yeah, 51 now. We have some news. We have some stuff.
We do.
And things.
The best part is different things each time, each week.
But this week the things is better than the stuff.
It is, and unless you count the something with the stuff.
Okay.
I go with it. No.
All right, let's just move on.
Get the idea.
You ruined it. I brought myself back, but then you jumped on, and then you just crashed the whole wagon.
Pulling this train down, no problem. There's some pretty awesome stuff this week, MCU. Game-wise, and also in terms of shows, what we're seeing. But let's start right at the top here with Marvel. That's the Avengers Infinity War. A whole lot of images got released this week. This was from Entertainment Weekly. They dropped a lot of new screenshots here and some new
So
covers.
let me say real quick. Let me interrupt you and say real quick. Potential spoilers. We're getting close now. So this stuff is getting more and more into spoiler territory. So if you don't want to touch this stuff, you want to wait until it comes out next month, by the way.
April 27th.
Next month.
Yeah.
About 6 weeks away now. So go ahead and skip to the next section, but we're going to talk about this stuff. But I wanted to throw that out there. A little bit of warning for the peeps who want to be the purists.
That's fair.
Okay, so So EW, Entertainment Weekly, had a huge thing. All the props to them. 15 different covers. Mm-hmm. By the way, look, I'm into comics, but I'm not big into variant covers. It's been a long time since I've given a crap about variant covers. Do people really do this for Entertainment Weekly? Do you know anybody who's like, oh my God, I have to have all the different Entertainment Weekly covers? I mean, seriously, do you know anyone who's like that?
I don't know anyone who would do this for but I do have a few friends who were like magazine collectors at one point. The audience is there for
like
it.
TV Guide and stuff? Or what? Or Rolling Stone or whatever?
Rolling Stone.
Okay. Actually, I think we've talked about Rolling Stone before.
We have. They made Info Minute a couple of times.
Yeah.
Way back when.
That's the gauge, by the way. That's the standard bearer in weekly recap for news in just media in general. Did it make the Info Minute? Because if it didn't make the Info Minute, we're not even going to touch it. Because it's not even worth it. Are they talking about chicken again?
You're still stuck on the KFC phone?
We've talked about KFC too much.
Yeah, we have. It's been a lot of chicken.
So, there's a few things here, and I do apologize. Normally my notes are a little bit better than this, but just a couple notes here from things that came out of the articles that Entertainment Weekly had on this. A little bit of a curveball on this. Wakanda is the last stand in this story,
wow.
Which that in itself is not that big of a deal. But we thought it was because of the Soul Stone.
We did,
which is still speculated that the Soul Stone is in Wakanda. Which we thought we were going to find out Black Panther, but we didn't.
Right.
But actually, this is apparently an idea of Captain America's to take a last stand in Wakanda because it's never had any issues. It's never been invaded. So they've intentionally moved Vision to Wakanda to try to protect him there because it's so advanced and they've never, no one's ever cracked the shell, basically.
Right.
Sure. But if you've seen the trailers, you already know he gets that stone plucked out of his head.
Yep.
So maybe the whole Wakanda thing doesn't happen at the end?
Maybe not. There's a bit of an irony here in that I'm wondering how General Okoye is going to take this too. This is a nation that is literally just getting accustomed to the idea even of foreigners.
Just letting people in the house, hey, take off your shoes. Here's a coaster. But everyone's just gonna come trampling in.
Yeah,
it's like if you let your kid bring over a friend once, and the next thing you know, there's a dozen of them sitting in the basement, firing off firecrackers or something.
Pretty much, that's how I'm seeing this. I can't help but chuckle at that. It's like of all times to now you open your doors and now this happens. It's like holy man. Yeah. So much more than I think that they bargained for. With that, but this concept, that idea, I want to say we're sort of steered, led to believe that if this really is indeed the ground for the Last Stand, that everything's going to be wiped out and like wiped over and stuff. I don't think so. I really think that is just my upfront opinion on it, that there will be a roundabout way that Vision is taken down and the stone taken from him, rather than Wakanda being wiped out and Panther being wiped out and Captain America and everybody else just being wiped out in the spot. I don't see that early.
Well, I guess the big thing is that everyone's going to assemble, Avengers assemble, and then they're all going to split up.
Yep.
So we're going to, it's going to, and I not to always go back to a Star Wars reference, but it's going to be kind of like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, where your crew's doing different things.
Yep.
Like the group is on Endor, but then Luke is over on the Death Star, and they're all working towards a common goal, kind of thing. I guess it's going to feel like that. So I suppose even that the Wakanda stuff might be happening at the same time. I think this is going to be a screw up on Captain America's part. I think he's got a decent idea, but I think the Soul Stone is also still in Wakanda, and I think Thanos is going to end up going there anyways.
2-for-1 bargain.
Since they take him over there, he's like, I'll take the Mind Stone, thank you.
Yep.
And I will take the Soul Stone because you bitches are dumb. Thank you very much.
And you need this in this sort of heist style theme. I mentioned before the show started that this device, which looks like we're getting set up for, that is Thanos on his smash and grab run with everyone being sort of a step behind him. A classic miscalculation would help play into that so much. And I think, if anything, would be a bit of a good touch, especially from Captain America. This is somebody who is good intention, I think, to a fault. In the fault being, he will pursue what he believes to be the right intention or the right thing to the bitter end. It doesn't matter who he ends up clashing with at the end of that. He proved that in Civil War.
Right.
I think by sticking to his guns in this case and having somebody like Captain America make a miscalculation like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to prepare anybody for Thanos? I mean, here's a guy who walks around almost as strong as the Hulk when he wakes up in the morning, instead of needing to get all pissed off about it. A guy is smart as Stark.
Yeah.
As crazy as they come.
Yeah.
And just the ego and the power to back it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get the theory, but yeah, I think that's going to end up being their doom. And I think I still believe that this movie is going to end with practically everyone destroyed, which is actually kind of weird. I don't want to get ahead of myself because I was going to start talking about some of the covers that came out for EW and some of the things we didn't see.
Oh, sure.
But before that, a couple other notes. Iron Man is going to have his bleeding edge armor, which we see a little bit in the trailer. It kind of forms just like Black Panther's suit does at this point now. I don't like this. I think it's going a little too far. I get it, and it's from the comics and whatever, but I don't like it from the comics either. I mean, this is just taking technology and things. I think you're just going too far past the realm of relating.
Yeah.
No one can relate to something metal forming out of the molecules, like out of their watch or something like that, or this is just a little too ridiculous. I think it's jumping the shark a little bit. Fine, whatever. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal, but I'm kind of pissed off about it.
Yeah, the thing with the suit and the tech, I think the transformation itself, or the donning of the armor itself, is super high tech, pretty awesome. But the design of that, and I think the end game of it, his suit he's proven time and time again that this is a guy that doesn't need wings. If anything,
he's gonna have wings and it's gonna have boosters to take him into space.
Yeah,
which I was pretty sure in Iron Man 1 he got pretty close to doing.
Yes, he did. And there's still, this idea that there's going to be a suit with some extra functionality that will allow him to do those things. Okay. But Iron Man 1, but also look at, Avengers 1. I mean, that's...
Yeah, he was in space.
That's in space as you can be, man. And I mean, sure, he ended up having like a power cut in his communications, cut at that point. But I mean, we already know his suit can handle that. least. So
Yeah.
a little
Uh,
much.
yeah, I think so. Now something that I theorized was that Bucky was going to start going by White Wolf
Hmm.
from the behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, after credits scene from Black Panther. That is a fact now. He will be called White Wolf.
Right on.
Um, Whatever. I mean that's fine. I don't care.
Hmm.
I've already predicted that he's not going to be the next Captain America, but Falcon is.
Right.
So I'm going to
Which
stick by all that stuff.
would fall in line uh, really well. I think even with the comics too.
Well, in the comics, Bucky's actually Captain America a couple times, and that has been a long time ago.
Mm.
But yeah, they're going in a different direction with them. That's fine. Hey, they're going to attach him to Black Panther. I like Bucky. I like Winter Soldier. We'll get a lot more of them that way. So I'm good with it. You know, they again a long time ago, Sebastian Stan signed a 9-movie deal, which everyone's like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. And, we're starting to see why, which is kind of cool because we're also seeing just how far ahead the MCU thinks about this stuff.
We are. We are. So, you know, that and even just the way we've seen all the cool promotions for this stuff, just thinking about the covers in general, I do love how when you structure all of them together, you've got the Avengers logo. So, but I mean, just from an art standpoint, this is cool stuff, man. I mean, in terms of just symmetry, gestalt, just solid design. I mean, I'm looking at the way like the Spider-Man cover was done, and then the way the motion you have in like the Captain America cover and the Hulk cover even. They just
Are we just going into the covers?
yeah, I just jumped there.
Okay, all right, we're in there. Let me get that cover.
Yeah,
Okay.
to be fair, we were sort of already there with Iron Man.
Yeah.
Sort of.
No, that's fine. Hey, I never give me the opportunity to ruin a perfectly good transition that you take.
Now I'm gonna kick open
So
that door.
your
Look out,
your
man.
segue was beautiful, and I was just like, are we there now?
It's all good.
Okay,
All good,
hold
man.
on. Yeah. So these covers, 15 covers. Yeah, Iron Man suit. His suit looks great, except for the wings things that he has.
Yeah.
So all that's hidden in something probably even the smaller size of a dime.
Yep.
What? It's too much. It's too much. So looking at the next one that we got here, yeah, we got Thor. I like Thor. Thor looks awesome. Kid Groot and Rocket Raccoon. There was something that came out. James Gunn actually said something here in the last week or so. He specified this, and I guess it's been said in the past. That is not Groot. That is Groot's offspring.
Oh,
That is actually not Groot.
wow.
Does that matter to you?
No.
Uh,
No.
it's interesting.
It
I could have
is.
gone either way with it. With the way I get, maybe it's the same way. Like if you were to take a branch off of a tree and somehow that continues to grow,
Right.
and you're like, that's not actually the tree.
Right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get it, but it is kind of the tree.
Yeah.
It's
It's
I
from
guess that's as much of
Groot.
an yeah. That's I guess it's as much of an offspring as you're gonna get. Whatever.
No, no. I'm with you. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. And so next one we got War Machine and oh god, what's his name? What's Batista's character's name? I forget right now.
Oh Lord, we are so
Oh, we're horrible.
we are
This is it.
so bad with that.
This is,
Grax? No, no, no. I'm
oh
sorry.
yeah, Drax the Short.
Drax. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you saved us because that's almost a thing now where once a week we'll forget some character's name or
Yeah.
something, but you remembered it. So, they look the same here. So I don't really see anything different in them. Do you?
No.
No. So I mean, hey, they look awesome. Yeah, pretty much for the same one. Gamora and Falcon.
Yep.
There they are.
Jumping back on one real quick on Drax's, real quick. The one little thing is that now is it just me or does it look like the War Machine armor has a slight upgrade?
Well, they always have an upgrade.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
looks basically the same. If they wouldn't have said, if the Iron Man suit wouldn't have the things on the back and it's gonna have wings and boosters and all that, I would have just assumed, yeah, that's a new Iron Man suit, but it's basically Iron Man.
Yeah. No, definitely. And that look really reminds me closer, at least to the last issue of War Machine that I read uh, most recently. I say recently; it's not like I've even read one this year. But the last one I remember picking up always had that sort of glow effect to it. I just remember the reds being very, very prominent, real highlighted. So that's a cool look. I like, even though the suit is a little more washed out in terms of its color palette. I always thought it looked awesome. So
Can I say something real quick too that has been awesome, that is War Machine related? Now we talked about this a while ago. They've been doing this for a couple months now, where the Punisher in the comics has the War Machine armor.
yeah,
Um, because Rhodes has died. He'll be back. They always come back. So War Machine has had this now for a few issues, and he's been taking out some terrorists and stuff. And there was a huge fallout with Shield, so there's similar suits. They're not quite as good, but Fury wanted the Punisher to go and take out some people, so he got him access to the War Machine armor. It's been awesome. They need to. They need to do this. They're not going to do it in season 2 of The Punisher, but they should. It would be the biggest crossover they've had in an appropriate crossover from the movies to the TV shows on Netflix. They won't do it, at least not yet.
right.
They should, though. At some point, they need to do this. Putting it, as far as I can tell, and I don't have this definitively or not, but as far as I can tell, they may keep this.
Wow.
They may keep Frank Castle in the War Machine armor, and it's been awesome.
Oh, that's terrifying.
It is. It's so great, and I'm going to have a review up for Jessica Jones season 2 later today. But having just watched that, and I mean, yes, Daredevil does a lot more things that are a lot more action oriented. The Punisher did not. That was one of my biggest complaints. You had handyman Punisher walking around fixing car lights and garbage disposals, and he has a wall full of guns, and he uses like maybe 4 of them throughout the whole season. You need to turn that around, and you need to give him the War Machine armor. And it's been awesome. It's been great to see
Cool.
it, and I hope the shows get there. It doesn't sound like it. They're going to do more stuff with Jigsaw, and we're gonna see him plant a garden, how to fix a wagon.
But I, it's like
But
you
it's
said,
been awesome. That's what I was getting.
the comic's been awesome. There's the, like you said, they won't do it. There's always that, we wish there's that glimmer of hope for the live action. That
would be so great.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So going on, Spider-Man suit. Why? Where's his helmet? They're doing too much of this. It's kind of pissing me off now. We've seen it in both Spider-Man suits. We've seen him without his helmet in the 2 trailers we've gotten, the regular trailer, in the 30-second spot trailer.
Right.
Without the mask on, whatever hybrid metal cloth thing that is. Stop it. You are officially in Raimi territory now of having Spider-Man without his mask.
I recommend, this is a movie where you need to keep that thing on.
This is dumb. It's starting to tick me off. I'm seeing signs from Infinity War that I'm not liking, and this is one of them. That's Tom Holland in a cosplay suit. Just because you don't have the mask on. Am I wrong? Does that feel more like Tom Holland in a cosplay suit than it does Spider-Man?
No, I don't have the same feeling about that.
No?
It's not throwing me off as bad. I don't know.
I mean, that's one of my biggest complaints about the Spider-Man Raimi movies is like, oh, he's got to have his mask off. No, he doesn't. He's Spider-Man.
It annoys me more when they do that with Venom. Like,
Well, yeah, but Venom doesn't give a crap. Spider-Man's actually trying to, the alter ego of Spider-Man is important because he's trying to not have his loved ones get killed.
Right.
Saving, protecting his identity is important. And it's like he's just hanging around with Doctor Strange and in the Hulk without his mask on. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, they're buddies. They're buddies. They've known each other since the 60s. Oh, wait, no, that's the comics. And he still doesn't do that.
I hear you.
Iron Man doesn't know in the comics that's Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Even now, even to this day.
Wow.
all these years later. There are a couple dozen people who do know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's just put your goddamn mask
Yeah,
on.
put your
It is, as you can tell, it bugs me because it's to me, and this bugs me because especially the MCU doing this, because the MCU's had this right for the most part, where they understand, look, it's important because this is the character and this is what this character does. And it's like, well, you have to have facial expressions. That's why you gave him those eyes, which are awesome. Those awesome Spider-Man eyes.
I agree. To that end, the MCU Spidey is so well designed. I don't think you need to have a bevy of those maskless moments. You know, the iconic Spider-Man for MCU for me, what I think back to, especially in Civil War, was the masked Spidey that shows up and snatches Cap's shield.
All right, I'm calling it right now. If I see Spider-Man in his costume with more than 60 seconds without the mask on, I'm gonna take it down a point. Just
okay,
for that alone.
Fair enough. Shot fired.
I think that is fair too.
Shot fired.
Give you a minute. We'll give you a minute. Otherwise, you're losing a point.
You got a stopwatch? You have one with you?
And if you go more than 5 minutes, you're losing 3 points. But I think he'll be dead long before that.
Bring a stopwatch.
All right. I will. Okay. Next, you got the California Raisin. He's still. I love Thanos. Obviously, he's a villain. We talk good things about what he's done in the comics. But yeah, put the helmet on him. I guess put the helmet on him too.
Yeah, give him one.
What do you have against people wearing helmets? War Machine's not wearing his helmet. Thor's not wearing his helmet. Nope. Iron Man's not wearing. None of them are now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, Star-Lord not wearing his helmet.
None of them.
Oh.
No. In the case of the covers, I understand that it's obviously some trying to sell the star power. Except for Thanos doesn't make any sense because that's not what he looks like. Josh Brolin does not look like that.
Right. I'll tell you what. Talk about the raisin. The thing I've always loved about Thanos more than I think some of the other megalomaniacs and crazy tyrants and stuff like that. Man, that jaw of his is gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a big square cut jaw. It is a California raisin jaw.
It is, but there's a reason for that. That goes all the way back to Kirby designs for Titans. That's intentional. He looks like that for a reason. That's not just let's give him a crinkled up chin.
Right.
No, there's actual reasons for that. You go all the way back to Kirby and what they did as far as gods and titans and celestials,
right?
In different races. His face and his color and size does matter, and I do appreciate the fact that they've kept that.
Cool.
He does look a little weird without the helmet, though. I wonder if now that I think about it, I wonder if we'll even see it on him because I don't think we've seen it yet.
I don't think we have. The helmet is what gives him the conqueror feel.
It just puts the whole suit together.
It does.
Which he's not wearing here, by the way.
I want to say the only time.
You know what? I have to take it back. I'm sorry. Don't mean to interrupt.
No. Go ahead.
Because Spider-Man's wearing everything but the helmet. Thanos is actually not wearing his usual suit.
No, he's not.
So okay, I'll take that back.
You don't have the other orange mitt and everything.
Well, or the armor is different and all that. Wouldn't that be funny though if he had like Charlie Brown, like one little hair on top of his head?
No, with Thanos, I think the only time, actually a couple of times that we've seen him with the helmet were after credit scenes. Right.
No, nothing in Infinity were related.
Right.
Like trailer stuff or anything. Yeah, he's not had it on.
Yeah.
Not since they started coming out with official stuff. So you've got Star-Lord and what's her name in the movie? I forget.
Okoye?
Okoye. How do you say that?
Okoye. Okay.
I had it right. Okoye.
Okoye. There you go.
It
was awesome, by the way. Loved her.
Love her in Walking Dead. I'm watching her for 7 years. Well, I guess 6 years. She didn't show up until the end of season 2. But
awesome.
Well, I guess I was just about to say Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Not White Wolf. That's official.
Yep.
Not a single piece of white clothing or design on there,
Oh,
but you do get to see his new arm,
you do. You do.
and that does not look like your typical metal arm. So maybe they did give him a
I'm feeling
vibranium arm.
I'm feeling vibranium all over that, man.
Lucky bastard.
Right? Man, that,
Cap can't have his shield, but
no, he gets a better arm now.
um, and you got Mantis.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to more Mantis here. Although I doubt we'll see much of her in the movie. But
same.
Captain America, or is it officially Nomad now? I don't know, but there he is. I do like the fact that I didn't notice this until it was pointed out to me. That is his usual costume, but he has repainted it. He has painted over his star.
Wow. Yeah. That's a statement. You know, this is someone who recognizes, I think now, the ramifications of his decisions, where his actions with the Avengers have taken things, and I'm instantly drawn back to that scene near the end of Civil War as he's walking away from Stark, who yells at him, "You don't deserve that shield," and as soon as he says it, just tosses it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is somebody who has truly walked away. Now walking with the dual claw shields that he's given. Vibranium, obviously. It's interesting this way this worked out. You know, the way he got his original vibranium shield in such a roundabout way, and now going to where that material was drawn from and getting a brand new type of shield. Gifted.
Can I say I don't like the new shield?
You don't like him.
I want to see them in action before I'm reserving judgment still. But so far, it's too small.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And you know, a lot of the stuff, vibranium tech is sort of stealthy that way. I think it's purposeful with the design. There's a lot of things that are form-fitting, and hey, for all we know, these things could expand.
Oh yeah, Black Panther's suit comes out of his freaking necklace.
Exactly. I think that's fair. Reserve judgment on these. I'm going to hinge a bet that there's more to these than meet the eye. I think they're going to be able to do a lot.
You know what though, and that's fine, but I don't like the fact that he doesn't have his regular circular shield because I mean it just
because that's Cap, right?
Yeah. I mean I'm fine with it, but yeah. Doctor Strange, now he also has a stone. He has the Time Stone.
Yes,
Time
he does.
I don't think I see it there. Do you?
I don't, and I believe you don't see it because if I recall, it's embedded in that necklace.
Because he's gonna have it taken.
Bum bum bum.
That was dumb.
No, it's good.
You were fine. I was dumb.
It's just cheesy good, crazy good.
Black Panther, no helmet.
Put your helmet on.
Put your helmet on. Here's the thing. I'm just the haircut. I'm just not.
You're not feeling
the
it.
Haircut. No, I'm not. It makes him look too civilized. It's the Hulk.
This guy is anything but civil.
Right. Vision, and that's Black Panther's sister. I forget her name as well.
Oh, our tech genius.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't forget that.
That's her name, Tech Genius.
Tech genius. Okay, this is gonna kill me. This is gonna kill me. We gotta get that.
Go ahead and talk for a second. I'll look it up.
All right. Too late. Shuri.
There you are. You already had it.
I got it. Got it.
They don't look any different.
Oh.
Well, we didn't see her in action too much. It looks like we're going to definitely see her in action. She's got those tiger guns again.
Yeah.
Or panther guns.
I loved her blasters. In fact, I was at first thinking that she had some kind of failsafe, like some kind of anti-tech against the panther suit. I'm like, if anyone could, she could.
Well, there was some behind the scenes stuff and some conceptual art. She was going to have a Black Panther suit at one point.
Hardcore.
Maybe we'll see that this time, but they obviously didn't do that in the movie.
No, and I think for good reason. I think if you had others with the suits, that kind of crashes into the symbolism of the Black Panther King himself.
Right.
So, makes sense.
Let's see. Next to last, we have Nebula and Scarlet
Yeah,
Witch. Love Scarlet Witch. Love me the Scarlet Witch. This is now she has been very different from the comic book character her entire time. That's fine. I like this version of Scarlet Witch. Nebula is Nebula.
still
Just
pissed off.
yep. Then finally, crap. There it is.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. I can't believe it.
I got you, man. No, dude. I mean, we just cranked through 15 covers. You want to say that that's not that. Oh, I should get this. I should know all. But no, man. There's lag
Black
moments.
Widow. I don't like the blonde hair.
I'm right with you there.
The suit is fine. I've heard some people complain about the suit. It looks fine. It's a variation of what she's. I think those are Wakandan weapons in her hands, though, aren't they?
They look like it's some kind of like short staff or it suits her. I can see her being crazy proficient with something like that. But this hasn't been explained. The whole thing about her, going blonde yet. We saw it in the trailers and everything else, and I don't know why we had the switch.
I don't like it. It really, normally I wouldn't care, but it does seem to take away from the character.
Yeah.
Black Widow does have that. It's kind of a trademark red hair. So,
Yeah.
notable misses here: Hawkeye and Ant-Man, and I guess the Wasp. But that movie's coming out after.
Right.
But no Ant-Man, no Hawkeye.
Hmm.
Now, Hawkeye's got a movie coming out a couple months later.
Especially, yeah. Hawkeye seems like such a major one to miss here.
Right. Where's Hawkeye? What are you doing? I mean, he actually doesn't wear a helmet.
I think that's going to be the tagline for this week. Put your helmet on.
Hashtag where's your helmet?
Oh man.
So that's a shame though. I know he's in it, but yeah, where is he? Not a fan. Not a fan of that. I like Hawkeye.
Same.
Okay.
There you go.
Those are the covers. We got some pictures though. These are a million times cooler.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna talk about these real quick.
Sure. Plus, I think with the pictures, now the link that we were both checking out the covers from, they were like lower resolution, smaller shots in here too. But yeah, there's a lot of little tidbits got revealed in these. Definitely worth going through.
Do you think that we will get Thanos in his full suit of armor and helmet and everything, at least in one of these two movies?
We have to.
I would think so.
We have to.
The gloves match.
Right.
So,
right.
It's like the gauntlet just kind of goes with it. It's just, you're not, it's kind of like it's kind of like if you saw Iron Man in just the suit that he had from number 2, the compact one. It's
right.
Like, it's not the same.
I agree. This, out of 10 years worth of a build of superhero storytelling, your centerpiece tyrant, you gotta have him in all his glory at least once.
Yeah.
At least.
Well, and here you go, picture number 1. He's dragging. Now, this is something I guess came from Comic-Con last year, and they all got to see this. But they finally released a picture of it. He is dragging the moon down. He's, I believe he crushes somebody with it.
That's epic.
I mean, right there, people, I get people who don't know that much about Thanos and stuff ask me, well, why do you guys talk about him like he can do anything? It's because with the Infinity Gauntlet, he can.
He can do anything.
And he does anything regularly. He does whatever he wants.
Oh.
I mean, the definition of welding it like a boss is right there.
This is nostalgic for so many reasons for me, not just comic-wise, but I think about Marvel v. Capcom 2. They take a wink to something like this with one of his supers that uses 1 gauge. He takes basically like a compacted, like miniaturized moon. It's the power gem throw, and he basically just throws it in like a flaming ball at you. It's a pretty powerful level 1 super, of course, but I always love what he says before he throws it. He just yells, "Pray."
There you go. I mean, yeah, this is a badass picture. You get a great picture of Thanos here.
Yeah.
It looks like he's learning just how powerful, like he knows how powerful he is with this thing, but he's learning using it. You can see, it looks pretty awesome.
That's sick.
Next picture, really not much. You have what's her name? Starts with an S.
Scarlet?
Oh, no, 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 from Black Panther.
Oh, Shuri.
Shiri. You have Shiri. Who's she talking to there? Is that that's got to be Banner? I think that's
I
Banner.
think it is because we had those other early shots with him with the Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah, that looks like Banner and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, yeah, sweet.
The next picture, I hate this. Look, what? Seriously, what is with this?
Ay, ay, ay.
What is with this? You okay with this? You're the big. You're. I mean, we're both big Spider-Man fans, but you're a huge. But you can't be okay with this.
No.
It's a neat. That's a neat picture. I like seeing the web shooters.
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
your damn mask on.
But
You're gonna pull that, so it's bad enough because everyone from that bus knows like what Peter Parker was just wearing.
no, yeah, I'm chuckling here too because this is in the middle of him trying to like don, but no, as even being a hardcore Spidey fan, there's a lot that I'll let slide. But no. It's if anything, it's usually the other way around when he is in like a kind of tense situation trying to don his suit quick. He'll get the majority of the suit, like he'll have like his mask like last, like he'll pull down and pull over. But here's the thing too. In the older comics, when his mask didn't have the kind of functionality it does with the Stark Tech, it does here. When it was like literally, a mask that he could see well out of. I don't see when you basically have enhanced vision with that mask on and enhanced everything, optics, etc. Why do you want to pull that up?
Right.
Dude, I
Right.
don't. I just don't. You're on a bus. Put that back down. There's kids right next to you, man.
Right. Exactly.
Here, yeah. As a Spidey fan, this is the part where you have the identity clash, and I think that just this lone shot doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No. Nothing there makes sense.
No.
It's very, very upsetting.
Yeah.
Very
Ugh.
upsetting. Spider-Man: Homecoming 2 better have like Aunt May die in the first 5 minutes, and then be like, you should have kept your identity hidden.
See, this is what happens.
Yeah, look what you did. It's on you.
This is what happened. You know what? And I love it in the Ultimate Universe. The few times that you did have someone who found out who he was, it got bad quick, really bad, and like
Oh my God! Like the whole story after Civil War, because he gives away his identity
Yep.
in the Civil War comic. I mean, the whole thing's like the storyline after is like supervillains teaming up and like all plotting to kill his friends and family. It's like open season on frickin' Peter Parker in Fam. It's just
keep it on the DL, Pete. Come on, man.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I mean, it's part of the whole story in Homecoming, how important it is to keep his identity. He's like he's
It
pretty
is.
good about it. And Russo brothers, you're pissing me off. Okay, next picture. See this from the trailer.
Loki.
Do you have Loki?
I do. In
My
my
next picture is Doctor Strange,
here, I'll scroll to get to it.
Iron Man, Banner, and I forget the other guy's name from the Doctor Strange.
Oh
movie.
yeah. He was at one of the last like embassies,
Yeah.
one of the protectors in that ring. Yeah.
Yeah, we've basically seen this from the trailer. There's really nothing new here.
No.
All right, what's your next picture?
Loki.
Okay, I don't have Loki.
Man.
Let me find him.
Okay.
There's Loki.
Curious as was so curious about how exactly he ends up delivering the stone. I'm really curious about the backstory. Does he have some kind of pre-agreement out there with Thanos and his gang to do this? Is there some kind of reward pending?
He had the agreement.
Yeah.
That was initially part of the plan with the first Avengers movie.
Right.
He had some kind of agreement. I think that's what's going to come into play here. Besides that, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Now I'm really wondering. This is your quintessential mischief maker, and this is someone I can see throwing a grenade in the room and just walking away. So,
I don't think he's going to. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have a big part in this. I think Thanos, he may just even die.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's going to play his part of getting the cube to Thanos and not much else. You don't need. I mean, Thanos has his what are they? The Black Guard or whatever they're called.
Right.
Um, Loki's way beyond that as far as a villain. I mean, he's been in like 4 freaking MCU movies in a significant role. You can't have him be in line with them.
No.
And yeah, so I don't know. I think you got to kind of write him off here.
Fair enough.
All right, what do you have next?
Thor and Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, that's fun.
It is.
You got Teenage Groot there.
And we know that. I'm just curious.
Groot's son.
Groot's son, Mini Groot.
Groot Jr.
I'm really curious exactly which situation leads to Thor finding the Guardians, or if his ship is completely destroyed, which is what it looked like. But I'm really curious about that whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's talk now that there may be a Thor 4. We use Taco Waititi, I believe is how you pronounce it, and Chris Hemsworth had such a good time making Thor 3 that there might be a 4th one now. So if you don't kill this Thor off, I mean, because all that's left of Asgard is in that ship.
Yep.
And something bad obviously happens to that ship because it gets encountered by Thanos, and Banner ends up on Earth. He crashes through Doctor Strange's Fortress of Solitude or whatever it's called. I know it's not actually the Fortress of Solitude. But, so I don't know. How do you? Maybe he just doesn't care and doesn't even kill him. Maybe that's what Loki does. Maybe Loki finds a way to talk Thanos into sparing their life.
Maybe.
I bet you that's it.
Probably.
That's how they write off Loki and stuff too. It's like, hey, Loki's got to go take care of the peeps. Because that's so in character for Loki. But,
oh yeah.
Whatever.
It's always a passive regard. If you get any kind of mercy from him or something else, he'll always do it very, very undercover. So.
What's your next one?
Hold on, my browser just wigged out. Can't tell you yet.
Okay, well, there's 2 left.
Hit the last 2. You go ahead. I'll get to yours because you got to mine.
Okay, so the next one is from Wakanda with the Black Panther up front with his arms crossed, and those are not all Wakandans behind him. I don't think, are they? Yeah, no, actually, I take that back. They are.
They are. In fact, the majority of them. I don't know about the one directly behind him who has the orange and brown.
There's Captain America and there's White Wolf, I guess I should say. So they're in there too.
Right, and I look at it like this too. Now this squad, and this is important. I want to highlight this. You also have M'Baku. He's there on the left, two from the left. But the those that are in blue. Now, can I just say how happy I am that even though the former general of this group, the guy who was standing with Killmonger, and who was no longer he was riding the Rhino. He raised the rhinos. And near the end of Black Panther, we no longer see him in the throne room once we see the rest of his council. I'm really glad that he reconciled with this squad and that he didn't get rid of them. Like, that's cool. Because I could see the former leader of this group, like, being put away for something like, treachery or whatever. But it's cool to see this group still. These are the guys that had the vibranium energy shields.
Right.
Yeah, they were awesome. So
it's gonna be fun to watch Wakanda get destroyed by Thanos and his crew.
Oh, because he's gonna.
Yeah. All that new tech that we just saw, and it was like, oh, it's so awesome. It's like, it's child toys.
Wreck-It Ralph here.
Yeah. Hey, there was a trailer that came out for a sequel for that. Not ready for that though, but maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Right on.
So the final picture has Captain America, Black Widow, and War Machine.
Yeah.
Most notable is War Machine's lower body harness.
Yeah.
He is not walking on his own strength.
No.
which was something that we had noted, and kind of curious. I mean, obviously at the end of Civil War, you see him rehabbing, but there must obviously be some permanent damage there to where he still needs this. What, 2 years later?
Yeah, yeah, that's intense. But in the same hand, I get some heart just seeing him on his feet. Period. Like this is a guy that it just killed him not being able to be on the front lines with Stark, and I think having the chance to be back in action. Period is good stuff. So
Love War Machine.
same here.
I love it better when Frank Castle's in the War Machine suit, though. Actually, no, not true. Not true. James Rhodes, I collected when War Machine actually had his own regular monthly issues in the 90s. I collected that from start to finish. Didn't last all that long, unfortunately, but just like most comics from the 90s.
Yeah.
But, I was like, hey, everybody knows about Iron Man. Tell me more about War Machine.
Right. Right. Man,
Okay.
speaking of comics, man, we spent so long on Avengers, rightfully so. Though there's a lot to look into here, but I do want to get to a couple of the rest of these that go along with their stories. This was from a Netflix announcement. There's a new shared comic book universe based off of Lee Field's Extreme universe. This got announced by a Deadline this week. Netfigure made a big old deal. It's a 7-figure deal to have exclusive rights to this comic book universe. You got a lot of high-end writers around this one, with the gathering being planned by Akiva Goldsman. And, this is also the person who headed off the Transformers spin-off.
Yay! Yeah, that whole
Cool.
writers group.
Yeah.
That's meaningless now because they're going to reboot it.
We were just saying, too, before the show, this caught me completely off guard. Now, I don't know squat about the Extreme universe. I never... Yeah.
Here's what I remember. I mean, they came in the 90s, obviously, when McFarlane and Layfield and Lee, they left Marvel and they created, they were the catalyst for Image. Look, I never collected a single one of their issues. I remember seeing them on the shelves years ago. They're still not worth anything.
Right.
That just because of the mass quantities that there were back in the day. Layfield is, if and you're an artist as well, Layfield is the dream come true. Marvel hired him right out of high school and brought him in as an artist. The guy is creative as hell.
Cool.
He's done a lot more stuff. I mean, obviously he's most famous for Deadpool. He created Deadpool. But a lot of these characters in this Extreme universe and everything just look very generic. I mean, they've got names like Kaboom and Bloodthirst, and
right.
It's all so 90s. And it's all just so disposable. That being said, I don't know a lot about these universes. That's just always been my impression. I mean, half the time you didn't know if you were looking at something from the X-Men or from this Extreme universe back in the day.
Right.
You were looking at the cover at the comic book shop. Some of them are just straight up rip-offs. Yeah, hey, this is cool though. I'm happy. Netflix is doing this for obvious reasons. The Netflix shows are staying where they are. The MCU Netflix shows, as far as I know, those are staying where they're at. But hey, they're branching out. They can't do DC. I mean, there's plenty of DC going wrong all over the place. But I shouldn't say that because as far as I know, the general consensus is that the TV shows are well liked. But,
They are.
they're going to do 7 movies. They're going to connect. It's going to be a whole franchise. There's an opportunity here for upgrades and updating these characters and these things to be interesting. A lot of this stuff was very sci-fi heavy, though. A lot of the character designs, a lot of it's all very X-Men oriented in that way. I don't know if Netflix has the budget to do that justice.
Yeah.
I know the Netflix MCU shows are not to be taken as a standard in this case.
No.
Because those are very low action, low, not very flashy, and they're fine for what they are, but that is not what these characters have been. Sure though, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of on the fence here. I want to see a trailer. I want to see what they're doing.
Same.
Before I say one way or the other. It's interesting though. So we're gonna get another comic book universe brought to life. 7 movies.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And I think this will give some good room for Netflix to, of course, again try that whole adaptation process that we've seen going between live action from what we've seen in comic and comparisons against something that I think people have less familiarity with. So
So hey, how much time did we spend on the whole Infinity War stuff?
about 45 minutes.
Was it that long? Okay,
Yeah.
you were rushing me pretty quick there. I knew we'd spent at least 30, but that's all right. We don't have a heck of a lot more this week. So
No, we don't. We don't. I mean, the majority of things are, I think, Marvel concentrated.
yeah.
And as funny as I say that, Legion.
Legion season 2 trailer. Now you will be reviewing this.
Yes, I will. Stay tuned to this channel if you want to check that out. Chris and I talked about the first season of Legion. I enjoyed this one a lot. I'm actually hyped for season 2. The season 2 trailer that we have here is just as much of an acid trip as you would expect
it's fun.
from Legion. It's fun stuff. Really interested to see where things go, especially with that adorable little ball he seemed to get pulled into. So
Ian talking about how much he likes the balls.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what in the Shadow King is the main villain. They openly say it. I know I've read stuff on him. I cannot place it though. Maybe as we get closer, I will remember to talk about the Shadow King.
Right. No, that'd be good to place. And
The
also,
trailer is awesome.
it is. It is. One reason I love this series so much is I think it combines a lot of wild and really vivid imagery with a really crazy sense of placement and setting, while putting that to all in the wrapper of like a psychoanalytic device or like a psychiatrist appointment analysis. I just love how there's so much, like 2 or 3 layers of insanity happening, and then you'll pull out of that and realize he's just really sitting in this room trying to talk to someone about what's going on and trying to unpack his own mind. It's a show that I think is rare in that a lot of the scenes you see mirror the very chaos that's in his mind.
You know, it's funny because I enjoyed season 1, but
Yeah.
you from last year you have 2 examples of times when a comic book related material was adapted for, well, in this case TV. In both cases, Punisher, which as good as that was for what it was, I gave it a 3, right? Because, because it's so off from the comic. And then Legion, I gave it. We actually gave that. We were doing letter grades. I gave it a D-.
Right.
Even though I enjoyed it, but in that situation, they even advertised it as, hey, we're taking this character who's crazy and who has serious mental disorder, and it felt like they were doing this brave endeavor on this character, and they just didn't. And that wasn't to say that it wasn't a good show, because it was, but it wasn't what they said it was going to be. And the character is a very different character, which again is fine, but that's why you're reviewing this and we're not. because I'll walk and hold his hand all day and tell how great it is, and then at the end of the trip I'll tell it to fuck off. So
Oh man.
So yeah, that's I'm gonna check it out. It's but I'm very disappointed with that. And you agree that there was some bait and switch with the show.
There was, especially pulling, I think, some views in on the premise of a very minor X-Man expansion, and then the teases of Charles Xavier and things like that, and then that's really just pitched out.
We saw the side of the wheelchair.
Yep. You know.
Oh, it's all right, because as it goes, Legion is actually probably something that X-Men wants to attach itself to right now.
I actually agree there.
We'll see if that holds up, and maybe they'll correct things. Maybe they'll say that, hey, you know what? Yeah, we kind of wussed out on really dealing with the issues of Legion here. I don't know. Okay, that's my 2 cents. I'm looking forward to hearing your reviews.
Cool. I'm looking forward to going through it, man. All right, spinning on to the gaming front. Check it out, Valve. They're making games again. If you love Valve, of course, largely known for Half-Life.
I love Valve. Actually, I used to love Valve.
That's
why I don't.
Oh man, there was a report from PC Gamer that the boss over at Valve, that's Gabe Newell, basically announced that Valve's going to be developing beyond its current state of just multiplayer, and that they're also going to focus on hardware. One of those games, and I'm going to roll my notes into this too from Artifact, because both of us have kind of taken a look at this. Artifact is one of the current games that's in development, as well as several VR games and a single-player game. No reports of Half-Life 3.
Boo. maybe my kid will get to play Half-Life 3.
Maybe. One can hope. One can hope.
At that point, he'll just jack into the computer and through an outlet in his arm like the Matrix, and that's how you play video games at that point.
We're getting there. Slowly but surely.
Anyways, tell me about Artifact, though. I didn't actually... My focus on the notes on that was just the fact that Valve's going to be making some games again, but you've got details on Artifact.
Yeah, so check this out. If you're familiar with Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm, this is a little bit what this reminded me of. Now, Artifact is going to be on PC and mobile. This is a card game. But this is...
Never mind. I'll be back.
Yeah, you just give me... I knew that was gonna kill you on that one. This is supposed to feature some pretty high production value and also a marketplace and workshop, kind of like what Dota 2 had, where you could buy and sell in-game items for actual cash, some real currency to switch out and everything. Gabe Newell was also talking about this one in depth, and he did say that this game is going to use Dota 2 as sort of like the base model for it, but specifically mentioned, hey, this isn't like a expansion to Dota or anything like that. But here's a cool thing. If you're big into Dota, or if you like to follow it competitively, there's going to be some appearances from characters that you see show up in this game here before those heroes actually appear in Dota 2. So it could very well be a screening ground for some content and later characters you're going to get released in that game anyway. So that's a pretty neat link. Dota 2 is still huge, especially in e-gaming and competitive gaming. The scene is not going anywhere. And I think anchoring something to that is going to guarantee some staying power for it. I also had a brief example too. Now I had to look into this. It was because I actually wasn't too familiar with the Dota 2 marketplace or how that worked. But yeah, this is done through Steam and everything like that, and it's been pretty stable. This has been released, so if they're able to leverage that same thing and to sort of keep that here with the Dota partnership they have going, I think this will be pretty successful. You know, Heroes of the Storm is even though I'm with you, I've actually never really had much of an affinity to play a digital card game or anything like that. Now, I mean, I was a Magic player coming up. I did Magic the Gathering, but I never got into any of the digital games or like digital MTG or any of that stuff. But I think it'll still be successful. So.
Yeah, you let me have as much time as I wanted on the MCU topic, so I'm just going to be quiet on this one. I said a lot earlier. And...
Oh, it's fine, man. It's fine, man. I mean, we're rolling up about roughly where we're normally around. I mean, let me ask you though. Are you
sure?
I'm positive. Because we're right at the end buck here. Have you ever played a digital card game, like at all?
Okay. So you mean like something that's a physical card but also has interactive properties in a video game? Is that what you mean?
More the other way around.
Are you talking about like the MKX mobile game where everything's based on characters are based off of cards and stuff?
Sort of, yeah. More where you're rooted in like playing the card game in a digital format. Like that.
Well, but you didn't actually play cards. It was just that everything was a card. Your characters were cards, but you actually fought them, and so no, no, man, it's already lost me. No, I have no interest in this.
Gotcha. Which is fair.
It's for some people. It's not for me. But yeah, go spend some time on that and not on Half-Life 3 or Half-Life 2 Episode 3. I'll take one or the other.
Oh man. Fair enough. Lastly,
they could put a turd in a box and call it Half-Life 3, and it would make $1 billion.
They could. Kind of like, it's funny. People were saying
right there.
People were saying that same thing years ago for FF7 remake, but now that's not the case, as we know.
Yeah. I'm going to stop there though. Because
that's fair.
I tried to be very calm about the whole Half-Life thing. And
I'm gonna get you going if I of
I
stuff.
don't want to hear about all the, hey, that's cool that Valve is making games again. I'm actually very happy about that. They make some great games, and it's cool that they're expanding back into that instead of just sitting back and making Steam money. But and that's fine. But yeah, did you play Half-Life 2 Episode 2?
No.
That cliffhanger.
To be continued.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So let's move on. Just
Fortnite.
yay for Valve and just make Half-Life. Okay.
Fortnite Battle Royale announcement. This
This is a juggernaut.
dude, this game is rolling. Like, this is something that looked like, hey, this could be, kind of cool and everything, but it hasn't stopped yet. Like, it had a really popular release, beat out Star Wars Battlefront.
It's beating out everything.
Yeah. And here it is too. Now, I actually think this is pretty cool. The mobile game that's coming out is going to feature crossplay between PS4, Mac, and PC. Same 100-player experience that you get on any platform. It's going to be a slower release. They're doing this based off of like an invite system. This is starting real soon here. That's March 12th, so next week. And of course, they're going to steadily expand their invite pool and like their player pool for this. But this is cool. This was one reason I started playing like FF14. I love the fact that PC players could crossplay with like PSN players without any issue. And now this Fortnite is taking that to a new level by being able to do that off of mobile and PC and console. That's solid. That's some awesome interconnectivity, and people are going to have a lot of fun with that. So in fact, I could just see people scheduling their runs. The PC and the console people do the majority of the combat, and then you got the people on mobile sitting building the base back up and everything. And so people are going to go crazy over this. Hey, it's cool.
They're already, yeah, no, I agree, but they're already going crazy over it. I mean, this if I didn't have other things and other games to play, I could definitely see myself playing Fortnite. Hey, good on you. What is it? It's Epic, right?
Yeah, Epic Games. Yep.
Yeah, good on you. You stepped into something good, and which is quite literally how it happened, because Fortnite's based on a single player game that did not do well,
right.
And they just like, hey, let's do this multiplayer mod, and it was free, and for some reason it grew and just exploded bigger than Godzilla, and good on you. That's all I got. I haven't actually played it, so good on you.
Good stuff.
Now, where's Half-Life 3?
Got the Bloodhound out now.
I'll trust them to do it. They're making good games. I'll trust them.
No, they are.
Somebody do it. No, all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'll cage.
No, that's some sacred ground. I know that's and I say that knowingly. A couple of my buddies that I go to PAX with each year, they have the very like exact same passion about Steam, and oh my god, if I mention anything about like Half-Life around them, I will get the next at least half an hour of the annoyance of why Half-Life.
You're going to see them soon, right? Because you're going to PAX.
I will see them soon.
When you see them, ask them, say, hey, I do the show. And because they listen, right? Of course they do.
Of course they do.
And like you heard Chris getting all upset about what's with the cliffhanger from Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Why is it so bad that Valve left the game the way they did? And ask them, and after they're done crying, they will maybe explain it to you.
All right.
Yep. Fuckers.
So much spite.
Just sell it off to somebody and let them do it. Somebody finish this thing. All right. Anyways.
Oh man, that's what I got in gaming. That's gonna bring us to an info minute.
Was that everything?
That was everything. Can you believe it?
Wow. No, you missed something. No, reverse that info minute. You forgot.
Oh, there is something really important.
Smash.
And I know what yep. Such a hurry, went over that. My goodness. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Catching that. This is a major piece of news coming out of Nintendo. This is going to be for the Switch. A brand new Smash Brothers trailer was just released on the 8th. This is going to be a brand new Smash Brothers sequel. The feature characters we had in this were from Splatoon. I know what it is. I've never played it though.
Can I say something about that really quick?
Yeah.
Because the character, I'm assuming that's supposed to be blonde hair that she's got in her head.
No.
It's not?
No, it's straight orange, man. Like, Splatoon is wacky.
I'm sorry, orange. That's supposed to be hair.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, these things have gotten so high res and high detail at this point. It looks like she's like some kind of Star Wars alien with like things that are coming off the side of her head. It doesn't even look like hair. Not even like in the obvious cartoony style of which they're using in this. But I just wanted to say that it kind of made me gag a little.
I see why. I do see why. Oh man. No, it's
my contribution to this topic.
It's a silly, super colorful style. You know, I actually became aware of Splatoon through a remix artist that I listened to on YouTube. I saw his cover art and I said, "What the heck's this?" And like I delved into it a bit and actually saw what it was. And didn't play any of the particular games or things like that. But yeah, here we open up with this action sequence. Kind of reminds me of a paintball war on steroids between blue and orange from Splatoon, and then the tone and pace just kind of abruptly changes. Okay, here's what threw me off about this trailer so bad. The Smash Brothers trailers, when they come out, are usually really energetic, really bright, fun, full of energy, lots of clarity on the characters, and there's always this sort of hype feel about whoever you see and whoever gets the next big announcement, who we know is going to be in it. This trailer, though, about a little over halfway, we just start going into Dark Souls territory for some reason. We get this huge melodramatic shading in this fire, and all of a sudden, the silhouettes of the Smash Brothers gang, the rest of the crew, Mario, Link, and a lot of others appear as silhouettes with the flaming background. And it's just a couple of dramatic cuts, a couple of dramatic themes, and then end. Okay. That really didn't do much for me at all. I'm sorry, Mario with this super epic cut, and then Link. No.
Link looks okay.
Yeah, Link looked okay. Mario looked weird.
Yeah, no, Mario looks dumb.
Yeah, I can't. That just doesn't work. That's not working for me. It's just usually the thing. It's something I'm not feeling for Nintendo. So really weird direction, I guess, in choice. I guess with that last part, that threw me off a lot. But
and it does say something that the comments for this video are turned off.
Yes, they are.
That's pretty odd. That obviously, I think there was some commentary there that maybe they didn't like so much.
Maybe.
I think a lot of people probably felt the way that you did. It's weird for me as well. I mean, you see Link, and that's okay because Link is obviously it's a high detailed character.
Right.
It's not the design for him kind of fits it. Mario does not.
No.
it just doesn't fit. It's just like, yeah, it's like you said, it's very dramatic. The lighting is very dramatic, and it just like, yeah, but look, there's this big round clown nose. Well, honk that. Honk, honk. Oh, I'm sorry. We're super cereal.
Oh, man.
Sorry, we're cereal about it.
No, so, a kind of weird vibe from that. But, hey, that's not going to take away from the fact that I'm sure this game will sell like gangbusters. Smash Brothers is a massive hit. It's massive in esports right now. And I'm actually really interested to see how this gets picked up for the big tournaments going forward. So,
yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, some gameplay or something. And no, I'm not going to get on about that. I mean, this is like a teaser announcement.
Pretty much.
So yeah, it's not a big deal that this is how they're doing it. Just that the design does not fit the feel.
No, it doesn't.
The first half was fun, even though that girl's hair makes me get. So that's fun though. It actually makes me want to play that game. Splatter, right?
Splatoon.
I want to check that out.
And there can't be a coincidence. Speaking of that there's this teaser release that pretty much coincides with the first paid DLC release for Splatoon 2. That's coming out this summer. We don't have an exact date for it. It's already up for pre-purchase, though, if you want to do that.
Splatoon 2, the Splatooning.
Splat.
Splatoon 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I need to hire you to title this stuff. But yeah, there you go. They're sort of side by side, and then it doesn't stop. Switch is just really on a roll. Toad.
I don't know. That might have put it. Seriously, that is a weird trailer. That might have slowed them down a little bit. It is really odd.
It is.
The fact that they turned off the comments, I think, definitely says something.
Nintendo's always had a bit of paranoia about their IPs. So much so that again they struggled to feature Smash Brothers in fighting tournaments where the way people wanted for so long, and then once they figured out, so help us. Now they're full in on it. They show up at each event. The president comes, so. But there you have it. Other than that, Captain Toad is launching July 13th. I think it's overdue. This little guy got his own game.
I must have missed that in the notes because you kind of went from Smash Brothers to Captain Toad. I'm like, what the?
You did. This is just a little side mention too of just stuff coming out for Switch, along the same side. But
Captain Toad.
Yeah. This is going to be a puzzle game.
Never mind. I was just going to look it up. Never mind.
Yep, for an update from the Wii U version. So,
which, by the way, I hope people. Well, they probably don't realize that's a big joke. Some of my favorite games are puzzle games.
I know you're all over Street Fighter Tetris.
What Street Fighter?
That was a thing.
I love Tetris, but Shadow of the Colossus and Ico.
Okay, well, it wasn't that kind of puzzle. I mean, this was literally what did they call it? Super Puzzle Fighter. This was big.
I remember it, but yeah,
this was big during like I want to say like late '90s. Also like the Street Fighter Alpha era. There were like at least 2 or 3 of these games out at once. So cool stuff.
Oh yeah, this looks like fun, Captain Toad.
There you go. All right. Okay, for real this time. I mean it.
Okay. Are we ready?
I'm serious this time.
Is everything packed? Did you use the bathroom? Because once we go, I'm not stopping.
All right. Look, I got the moon pies. I got the Doritos. We're fine.
Pie. Did you, when you guys went on trips, your family, did you have all kinds of snacks?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Honk honk.
And there were moon pies. That's another story. It's time for an info minute. All right.
Did you guys? Now you're an only child.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you missed out on car antics. I'm sorry. Info minute's now about it's now about road trips. So, but real quick. So you missed out on the antics. I mean, did you go traveling with friends? Did you guys like horse around in the back of the car? Did you play like games like what was it called where you pick out cars and stuff and you hit kids in the shoulder and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I'm with you. No, the usual extent of our games. There were some trivias and stuff like that. Most of the time, we talk. A lot of my early life was spent on the road anyway. But
did you play Game Boy games?
Oh yeah, I had my Game Boy. I always had my portables, especially man in the day where once like stuff like Game Gear had come out. Man, I was happy playing Sonic.
Were you the one kid that had the Game Gear?
No, I had 2 others.
You had what?
I had 2 other close friends in my my senior who bought Game Gear at the same time. So we all. Yeah. But I never traveled a whole lot with friends.
Oh, okay.
When I was younger, maybe once or twice when I was like in 3rd grade. But yeah, that's it.
And brothers and I, we did some shenanigans afoot in the back seat. That's.
Oh man,
good stuff. Think back on it, I'm surprised one of us is not dead.
You got into it, man.
Well, this is back in the day. I mean, playgrounds nowadays are like made out of plastic, and there's all kinds of cushioning, and cars you wear seatbelts, and there's safety regulations, and none of that stuff existed when I was a kid. Playgrounds were steel and concrete and sand, and cars were huge. They were the size of boats, and the sharp turn would just have you flying and doing spins in the back seat. Everybody's flying around. I remember, unfortunately, my first accident when I crashed a car, it was a '75 Chevy Caprice Classic. I crashed it doing 100 on a wet road. My friend, when that was done, he was in the backseat by himself. He was upside down and missing a shoe,
Holy crap.
but he was fine because cars back then were made out of metal.
That's hardcore.
But yeah, it was silly. He's like, "Where's my shoe?" But he's the momentum of the whole thing.
All right, give me part 2 of this story next show.
Oh, I know we're running out. Whatever. All right, tell me about. All right, I'm sorry.
This is part 1. So you heard it here. It's part of Info Minute.
Ian, what is the Info Minute this week?
Do you have an Alexa?
No.
I do.
All right, let's talk about traveling.
I do, but luckily, I have not had this problem with mine.
Okay, you actually got an Alexa. I would not suspect you as an Alexa person.
It's pretty cool. No, it's pretty cool. I actually like it. If I have just a quick question I need to throw out at the speed of thought, she's got my back.
Okay.
But a lot of people have been freaked out lately. There has been it's been with the laugh feature. Ironically, there's a lot of Alexa users who just randomly in the middle of the night get a female laugh out of nowhere. And some people pretty darn loud if they have their volume up and everything. It's freaked people out enough to actually go and formally list a lot of complaints to Amazon. Now, Amazon actually disabled the laugh feature this week until they could do the fix, and the fix was, I believe that just rolled out to make it a little more difficult to access, a little more layered for whatever reason. So we don't have an exact statement as to what was the trigger to this, or why for some Alexa users this happened all of a sudden. It didn't happen to me on my end. I was good, and I know my dad's an Alexa user too. He'd never talked about anything like this, but it is. So if you ever wanted to get woken up in the middle of the night by a really creepy laugh, you could have had that happen.
I'm checking out this laugh. I got to hear this.
There's a small clip of it. I can get you a link if you need.
Oh, no, I found it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, check it out.
All right. So they're not saying why it happened, but they've shut it off?
They did. And then I think the fix was to, like I was saying, kind of layer that a little deeper. I think before it was like a command, like laugh or something like that. I don't know. But
so what attracted you to an Alexa?
It was a gift.
Oh, okay.
I always thought it was pretty cool. It was one of those things that you admire from a distance, but you're like, I doubt I'm gonna go do that.
I mean, they're neat. What turned me off on them is the fact that they're constantly recording everything that they hear.
Well, if you don't have anything embarrassing to say,
dude, you hear me on this show. What do you think I'm like when I'm not? My entire existence is one embarrassing sentence after the next one.
Oh man. No, I hear you. No, it is. That's spooky. It is spooky.
Yeah, it's Big Brother, man.
Yeah,
except for it's not Big Brother, it's Alexa. There's been times when people when the police have tried to use these Alexas against people, whether that was right or wrong. They wanted to gather it for evidence. Yeah, no, that's all right. I don't need the man taking out my Android, and she's already having problems laughing. Wait, why does your Alexa need to laugh? Dead serious. Why does Alexa need to laugh?
Because she's got personality and zest.
No, she doesn't. She's a robot. She's a thing. She's not a person.
I'm with you there.
All right. No, I mean, have you ever have you ever talked with your Alexa and made Alexa laugh?
Not laugh. I've asked some kind of like offbeat things and gotten some funny answers before. That's always fun, but she's quirky.
Yeah. I mean, I'll deal with it when those things come built into houses, but yeah. Whatever. Don't get me wrong. I'm not all tinfoil hat on either. I don't really care, and I've been into families and friends' houses where they have them. But yeah, whatever. It's already. I mean, for me, it's already to the point where I can look up anything on the planet on my phone. So I'm still appreciating that. I don't need to have a little thing in my house.
I don't think we pause enough to realize what you just said. Just the sheer accessibility we have these days.
Yeah.
Even back in, like, if you told me this back in 91 or 96, you could do that from like a cell phone, I wouldn't have believed it. But
yeah, my cell phone is more powerful than a computer I had about 12 years ago.
yep.
It's crazy. But yeah, so I mean, I don't need a robot butler. I've got my phone, and that's fine. And I can basically get Alexa through my phone, can't I?
Believe you can.
Yeah, what do I have in mind? Bigsby, which I've never actually used.
Oh,
That's
the
like
the Bixby thing.
yeah, that's the equivalent of whatever the iPhone chick is. I've never used it. Every time she tries to pop up, I'm like, get out of here, Bigsby. I want nothing to do with you.
Same here.
I can type. I can freaking type. Whatever.
Oh.
Now I know I sound like an old coot. That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
I'm actually just mad because I wanted to tell my traveling story, and you're like, no.
No, part 2, man. You got to save that, dude. You need to give people something to look forward to. Do you want to give your whole plot away? One episode.
Well, I pretty much told you the story. Whatever.
Hey, you opened that jar. I need you to close it next time.
All right.
Because you can't.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, you can't go open and closing.
I'm gonna make up a bunch of shit, and it's gonna get crazy. There's gonna be dragons and stuff, and.
All right. I was hoping you're gonna have a T-Rex riding a tank with lasers on his eyes.
That's trademarked.
It is. You caught it.
All right. I'm sorry.
No.
I apologize for me this week. I don't know.
You were plucky, Chris.
Yeah.
I can deal. The
Okay.
question is, can the audience?
Subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Please, let's hear what you had to say about the last 10 minutes of this show. 45 minutes of MCU, was that too much? I don't think that was too much. We just kind of looked over everything that we got. We got a lot of stuff.
We did.
And I don't, outside of another trailer, I don't see us spending, no matter what, I don't see us spending that much time on MCU stuff again. Well, at least for Infinity War until sometime after, until the trailer, or not trailer, until the review. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff. And so, yeah. All right. I'm done making excuses. I defend it.
I was about to say, submit your case. Arbitration has been filed. We're gonna have to call the jury in.
All right.
Other than that,
now, how long is the show?
if you want a time count, an hour 22.
Okay, I'm gonna cut some. In fact, probably the last 5 minutes is gonna be gone. No one's gonna hear any of this shit.
Thank you all for tuning in. Take it easy. Have a good one. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, there anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.